to the very, very long and overdue video of the donkey. A lot of you guys have been sending us messages, comments on our videos, emails in regard to our setup of the donkey and exactly what gear we have inside it, what gear we use, what gear we don't use, and pretty much why we ended up getting a Land Cruiser. The Land Cruiser was a promise to myself in December 2015 that I would get a Land Cruiser that following April, so April 2016, for my birthday. Yeah, unfortunately, or fortunately, depends on how you look at it, there was a whole bunch of circumstances that actually led to exactly that.
Want to get deep now?
Yeah. Are we sinking?
Look, your side definitely. My feet are underwater.
Okay, we're moving.
Are we?
Yeah.
We're going.
As soon as we come out, we need to open the doors, obviously.
Jesus.
We're not out the clear yet, bro. We're not out the water. After spending 5 hours in the water, the damage to this vehicle was now permanent. Lucky or unlucky, like I said, this was basically how I ended up getting the Land Cruiser. The donkey is a 4.2 straight 6 normally aspirated Land Cruiser, the 1HZ motor. Reason we went for the 1HZ, it's basically indestructible. You look after it, it'll look after you. Let's get straight into the engine. Under the hood, it's got an aftermarket turbo fitment, which helps with that little bit of extra power when you need it. The reason we called the donkey is because obviously he's slow like a donkey, but strong like a donkey. The name also kind of works for us if, you know, he's not performing as well as he should. We can kind of call him the ass, which we kind of think is very funny. What we have, so let me just move the camera around this side. What we have on this side is the dual battery system. The dual battery system, obviously this is our primary battery, the secondary battery. It's a national lunar system. So the rest of the engine is as stock standard as it comes. There's nothing special that's been done to it other than the aftermarket turbo and the dual battery system that's been fitted. Let's get to the aesthetically pleasing stuff on the vehicle. The front runner awning, which we obviously use for shade. The awning itself works. It's good for shade. It's not a good one-person setup. It's a difficult one, far easier with two. We've got the African Outback rooftop tent. The reason we've gone with African Outback rooftop tent, there's a couple of tents on the market for rooftops. We've used specifically that one, A, price, B, ease of use, and C, well, what you can compare them to is the Hercules conversion. So let's go for, if you had to buy one of these tents brand new, you're looking at around 30,000 Rand. If you had to buy the Hercules conversion fitted by Alucab, you're looking at around 70 to 100,000 Rand, depending on where you get the fitment. There are a whole bunch of other rooftop tents on the market, the ones that specifically fold out, like Howling Moon and that sort of thing, where the tent folds out and the ladder comes down. Those tents, while comfortable, are not ideal for what we do in terms of the overlanding side. We are always in for quick setups, quick packups. The other main reason for going for that tent was obviously, as you can see, I've got 4 jerry cans on the front with a bit more room to add stuff in the middle. Now with the Hercules conversion, you lose the ability to carry absolutely anything on your roof. They say you can carry 50 kilos. Let's work with the tire being 50 to 60 kilos. With corrugations, with bumpy roads, I would say it's basically having a 50 kilo person jumping on top of your car. what we do is we leave all our sleeping bags and our pillows and everything. We actually pack them in there so we don't have to roll them up. So that's another win for the African Outback tent. Yeah, and again, as I said, the African Outback tent was our choice based on budget and ideally not being able, nor not having to lose the entire roof. The other nice factor of the African Outback tent is if we choose not to use it, we can take it off. On top of the tent, you see the max weight that we've put on it is a solar panel. It was the ideal place for us to put the solar panel. We don't have to take it out, aim it to the sun. It kind of just lives on top of the roof and it does its job perfectly. But let's have a look around this side quickly. As you can see, we've got gull wings. Easy access, easy opens. There we go. So on this side, which is the driver's side, we keep our chairs. So arrive at a camp, open the gull wing, grab the chairs, easy access, sitting down with a cold beer within 5 minutes of arriving at camp. Not even 5 minutes, I'd say about 30 seconds. So gull wing on this side, gull wing on that side. Unfortunately, the fridge is not accessible here. As you'll see shortly, there's a few other items we've got in here. The fridge slides out, but we'll get to that. So let's have a look inside. Okay, so getting into the back of the vehicle. This is our gas bottle holder. We've figured that it's more convenient to have obviously outside the vehicle and off the roof. Having the gas bottle here, it's not an inconvenience to take it off, boil a kettle and just putting it back. You don't have to climb on the roof. So that we found just works for us. That's literally why we've put the gas bottle there. So getting into the inside of the car, it's not packed currently for a trip, but it'll give you a more or less idea of how we do pack things. Canvas bags. Essentially, these are the camp kitchen. When I say kitchen, it's the cutlery, the crockery, the spices, the quick to grab items that you don't necessarily want to dig in a drawer system for. So as I say here, knives and forks, spices, more spices, more spices. Here we've got another gas top cooker that fits a Cadet. These are all the cooking utensils, so all your bigger chopping knives and scissors and spoons that we cook with, and cheese graters and that sort of thing. This one I normally keep cable ties and things you want to grab quickly, just so they're available, and it's just a nice place to put them. The cable ties fit in there nicely. Coffees, more spices, quite dusty. Right, so this side, DIY table. It's pretty strong. It holds about 60 kilos is what I've loaded with it. There you go. Table in the back, just for, again, quick coffee or whatever you need. Got the table. Next up is the drawer system. The drawer system is a Big Country drawer system. The reason I went for Big Country in the Troopy specifically is I believe they're of a much better quality, a much better build. They look nicer, the finishes are way better. They're not rails, they're actually bearing based, so the drawers never get stiff and never get hard to pull out. This one here is all our cookware. Getting straight into the drawer system. Chopping board. It just fits here. Fits on the lid. It was just a good place to put it. So let's get that out the way. What I've got in here is the recovery kit. Now, there's nothing worse to me on a trip than getting stuck and you can't access your recovery gear, because 9 out of 10 people pack it in a place that there's behind everything, because it's one of those items that you possibly wouldn't use on a trip, or at least hope not to. But then when you do need it, you haven't got it. So basic recovery items, the pull strap, the snatch strap, some shackles, safety ropes, and that's about it. So going further into the drawer system, we've got our kettle. Stays in the box, it just stops it from getting scratched. little dish, veggie steamer, bowls, plates. In here we keep 2 gas cookers, a brand new one spare, and then another gas cooker as a spare. As I said it here and already, we've got the Cadet Gas Cooktop. So essentially, having learnt our lesson from crossing the Kalahari and losing a gas cooker and not having a backup, if you'd like to see the crossing the Kalahari video, I'll put the link up here. But yes, getting back into the drawer system, let's switch the camera around that way. So pots and pans. The reason I put the strap over the pots and pans is purely to stop them from rattling, which is a pretty good idea. We've got a volcano pot, the non-stick, easy to wash, fast as daylight to pretty much clean. This pot is the cheapest pot I own. They're indestructible. This has been in the fire, this has been in the worst conditions possible, it's still white. We've got another 2 pots inside here, protected by little sponge mats. So that's pretty much the kitchen and the cooking drawer sorted out. So let's move on to the other drawer. You're going to have to excuse the mess. We leave a lot of items in the car. My wife actually likes to call it shopping. If we don't have something in the house, 9 out of 10 it's always in the car. So this drawer is all the dry food items. Again, a bit of a mess, sorry about that. But we are human and we don't clean out things as often as we should. But there you go, that's where we keep the cereals, the tins foods, the sauces, the cereals, the coffees, the tea, and all the rest of that. We've been through the drawer systems, what's in this one, what's in that one. One of the other main reasons we chose the big country drawer system was for this little feature here. So that drawer just needs to be unhinged, and then there you go. The whole fridge comes out, so there's no reason for a fridge slider or anything like that. They come built with one in. So absolute plus from the big country drawer systems. And as easy as it came out, slide back in, close it, and now it's locked in place. Power wise, this is the battery charger, this is the regulator. This is basically to control the power input from the solar panel back into the battery. This is to obviously charge the battery, as is you plug into normal 220 power, and we go from there. All these plugs here are obviously for specific items. The one plug obviously plugs this in, the other plug plugs the regulator in. I just don't want this coming out ever, so we've put the Brad Harrison or Anderson plugs in, whichever you call them. Yeah, and that's basically the power on this side. There's a whole bunch of Hella plugs and everything there that we use for torches or lights on the external of the vehicle. I'm going to show you a little bit behind the fridge, what we've got there. So I'm actually going to take the fridge out and climb in the back of the tree to show you what's inside. So let me get in there. Bit of a high jump for us short people. Alright, so what we've got in the back is our messy drawer. Over there we've got our compressor, which has been permanently mounted. Again, building on the everything done for convenience. I got very tired of getting to some blacktop or tarmac and having to pull out the compressor from its bag, open the bonnet, connect it to the battery, and then pump the tires. So far easier to put that in my car permanently, wired straight through to the battery, and it works. Literally open the gull wing, pump the tires, the cord's long enough to reach all the tires, and yeah, so that's where we built the compressor. As you can see, the front runner chairs, we keep the chairs here so that when we arrive at a camp we can pull them out, and 5 minutes we're sitting with a cold beer relaxing. Reason we got the front runner chairs is obviously, as you can see, for packing space. There's not much argument that needs doing there. They pack perfectly in the side of the vehicle. This is a 50-litre water tank. The reason it's in the back of the car is purely based on the fact that we don't want it on the roof. On the roof adds to that extra weight, which can be dangerous, overpacking the roof. We've already got 40 litres of water on the roof and 40 litres of fuel on the roof, plus the rooftop tent, which is probably a good just over 100 kilos of weight on the roof. So without wanting any more weight on the roof, water tank goes here. The way we wired the tap, it basically goes down through there, round the back of the vehicle, and there's a tap at the back. And that's about that for this area. Now, I don't know if it's coming out in the camera, but I'm going to show you quickly. So I'm going to remove the camera off here. Right, on above my head, this here is a net that we utilize for a tent. And over here, as you can see, the table and some bog roll, or white gold as we refer to it. We use the net literally for items that we want out of the way. Let me jump out the vehicle. Literally items that we want out of the way. So to have a tent, once you've packed everything in your vehicle, lying here just in the way, so we figured that we get it out the way with the net. It's pretty sturdy. It's pop riveted into the vehicle, and then I just use a bungee cord just to give it that extra stability, not to bounce around. We carry quite an array of tools, pretty much an entire toolbox. We keep them in here. I do keep spare slops. I tend to break slops quite often, but in here we carry spare belts, tools and ratchet straps, more tools, and there's a whole bunch of grease and washing powder and weird things else in there. This is literally just utilizing the dead space that we have in the vehicle to its max. So, back it all back, all fits nicely, and it's hidden. Generally, we do not pack anything on top of these areas, so again, you don't have to unpack the whole car to get to your tools if you should need them. That's pretty much the back of the vehicle. Now let's get into the inside. Got a shelf at the top here for easy to reach items, again made by Big Country. All my camera gear goes up there. Keep a handheld here. Obviously the two work together. We use VHF just for better range. Random items that you want to be able to reach quickly, and they're just above your head. On top of the dashboard we've got the dash cover. In there we keep maps, pens, knife sharpeners, random items again that you don't really have anywhere else to put. Little pouch with documentation in, vests on this side of the seat. Let me switch sides here. Give it a little bit of a turn there. Sunblocks, bug spray, jump leads. Under the seat, against the drawer system, I've put in the 220 inverter. Okay, getting into the front of the vehicle. The steering wheel covered with bicycle tape, purely from a comfort perspective. The steering wheels I find that most vehicles come out with these days is quite thin. This is literally to give me that, puff the steering wheel up, give it a nicer grip, and it doesn't get hot in the sun. So no matter how long this sits in the sun, you can still always grab your steering wheel. One thing that drives me nuts is absolutely grabbing the steering wheel and trying to steer like that. So yeah, that's why I put that there. Another product from Big Country. This is a center console, way more comfy, a lot higher. Land Cruisers tend to have those really short ones. It doubles as a drink stand, cubby hole, lockable to a safe, keeps the passports and other little items inside here. Again, like I said, it is lockable, which is great. It stops a little bit of theft. So what we have suspension wise, we changed the steering damper to a Pedder steering damper. Very happy with it. The Land Cruiser stock standard one is quite a skinny little thing, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't trust it. So that was changed. EFS coils, and the suspension itself is also EFS. That's pretty much it. It needs no explanation. We went for the heavy duty ones. Tires. We've previously had general grabbers and continentals on the vehicle. What we've got on here now is the Goodyear Wrangler Adventures 235/85 16s with the Kevlar sidewalls. So far so good, haven't been unhappy with them, but very happy with the tyre. We went for a skinnier profile tyre. We were previously running 265/70 16s. We're now running 235/85 16s, so a slightly skinnier tyre, wider footprint. Yeah, extremely happy with them. They're working well. Not much to say about them. We haven't had them too long, so we'll have to do a follow-up review in a couple of 1,000 kilometers. Servicing the Troopy. I service the Troopy myself. It's far cheaper than taking it to Toyota for a service. Also, one of the other reasons is I service on my own is the service intervals on the 1HZ motor is every 5,000 kilometers, which if you take to Toyota can end up being quite a hefty price tag every trip essentially that you do. So I service on my own. The service kit costs me around 2,000 Rand, more or less. And yeah, that's it. There's nothing that you pretty much can't do on your own on a Troopy with enough YouTube, enough trial and error, and just get in there and get stuck into your vehicle. It only benefits you in terms of overlanding, to know your vehicle, know the ins and outs, know exactly where you've put stuff, why you've wired it there, where you've done the wiring, and what could potentially go wrong and having the ability to fix it on the go. So yeah, that pretty much covers the donkey, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you will hit the subscribe button and support the future videos. Thanks for watching.